Few days ago I was in a forest and I picked up some blackberries.
Look at this thing. How on earth am I supposed to go through this? Oh, hello. Not bad.
I figured that I'm going to make a tiny jam, the tiniest jam ever. I don't want to say in the world because that maybe would not be true, but I will actually go through all the hassle of making real jam with only a few blackberries, and everything will be tiny. At first, what I've thought of is I'm going to cook it slowly inside one of these. These are Bosnian traditional, how can you call this in English? It's jezva. So I really don't know how to say it in English, but it's jezva. So think of it as jezva and be just done with it. It is made of copper, actually. It should be. I hope it is. This is the traditional one that my mother got me. I think for my birthday or something. She sent me over as a present, and or maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I figured it wouldn't be best idea. As you know, when you cook something with sugar, it tends to stick, and I really don't want to destroy it. This has special kind of shape, as you can see. It is broadening near the end, and if something gets stuck here, it's very challenging to clean it up, and I don't want to destroy my mother's present. So yeah, that was a cool idea, but unfortunately it will wait maybe for some other opportunity. Maybe not precisely that the same idea, but something else will come up. So let's move this out of the way. What I will use is this very old one. It's a bit destroyed from the flames, but it's good. It works, and I will need sugar. This much sugar for this much blackberries. I don't need anything more, and I will use this thing. Again, forgot the name in English. That I will use to, soften things a bit, to mash it. I will leave this aside because I don't need this at the moment. What I'm going to do is pour some water in and let it be cleaned tiny bit. Just, let it soak in water for, 5-10 minutes. Rinse it off and go on with the rest of the plan. Here it is, first stage done. We'll wait for, 5-10 minutes and then proceed. It's been a few minutes, around 7 maybe. Now it's time to rinse this off. There is a tiny bit of water left, but I don't mind. What I'm going to do next is add some sugar and let it sit in it for some time. It would be ideal it was overnight, but nothing is ideal here, and I'm just experimenting with only 2 ingredients. Okay, 3 if you count the water. So let's see. Some sugar. I will let it. That was a good idea, actually. I think the water is a good thing because now it can dissolve sugar a bit and the berries can be sort of coated with it. So let's do it. And honestly, I think maybe this is too much sugar, but we will see. I don't know if I'm going to use all of it just for a few berries. There are literally, okay, this is 5, this is 10, 15 berries inside. So imagine the jam out of 15 berries. Well, you don't have to imagine because you're going to see it very soon. I just hope that flame will not hurt and burn the berries as it was supposed to be slowly cooked. I will put the tiniest amount of gas possible and watch over it to make sure everything goes well, and hopefully it will go well. We'll see. I believe it is time to start. It is not a huge amount. I don't think that too much time will be needed for this. I don't think I will be spending 1 hour just cooking up 15 blackberries. That will be interesting though. Let's go. Just a bit more of sugar. I am not going to put the rest of it. I think it would be too much, honestly. I'm going to pour a bit more water in though and start simmering this on very low heat. Once I see that sugar is completely dissolved, maybe I might turn the heat just a bit up, but I will be very careful. Gas is powerful and the flames, they tend to, sometimes you underestimate them and they tend to do a bit more damage than you really initially planned, if you planned the damage in the first place. But what I'm going to do is use this immediately and just mash this to some kind of, well, mash, and get it ready for slow cooking. Oh, this is perfect tool for this. I mean, obviously, it's made for mashing. Okay, good. The smell coming out of here is already very fruity and sweet. I'm guessing sweetness comes from the sugar itself, but also sugar now mixed with the actual fruit. It really does give off a very special kind of smell. And I've seen a few fruit flies flying around, so it must be special to them as well already. Those things always discover everything fruity or alcoholic in a few milliseconds, and they just appear out of nowhere. Okay, maybe just a bit more. I don't really need to complicate this any further. This should be it. Let me just leave this behind. The mass that is inside is now, it's not completely mashed on purpose. I didn't want to make really mashed mash, some liquid mass or something. This is pretty good for me. I know light is not the best here. Maybe this will help. Yeah, tiny bit. But anyway, let's go further with the slow cooking. I'm not sure how much more water I will add. Maybe just tiny bit more. Somehow I think it will protect the thing from being burnt. I'm not sure. Just tiny bit more, just few drops. And then let's go to the low heat. When I said tiny flame, I really meant it. This is the least I could go without everything turning off. Now, let's go with the fun part. And just purely for fun's sake, I'm going to use this tiny thing. Not because I needed the whisk, not because anything else, just for the fun of it. So this already started simmering on the lowest possible flame, and I am not really going to go any further with it. I will keep the flame as it is and just keep on simmering, and I will use this whisk to try to prevent things from getting burnt and stuck to the sides. Hopefully everything will go smooth. I don't think I need actual 40 minutes to do this kind of a thing just for 15 berries, but I'm going to play along and go with imitating the real jam, just in smaller quantity, as much as I can, as much as it makes sense actually. Anyway, thinking about this, maybe using the whisk was not the best idea, because the whisk has a tendency to pick up the berries, and it's very hard to navigate releasing the berries stuck inside, actually between these wires, when you have only one hand, because you use another hand for the camera. It's very tough. Yeah. You know, first world problems and stuff. This is the moment of truth. I think it's been around maybe 10 or 15 max minutes of the blackberries simmering down there on the stove. And now what I'm going to do is to make the tiniest jam. Well, maybe not in the world, but I'm quite sure in my small town, maybe even this region, for somebody to go through all this effort just for this small jar, and I don't think it will be even filled to the top. I don't think it ever happened, honestly. Maybe some kids were playing and they were cooking along with their grandmas and granddads and stuff. So who knows? But let's go. Let's pour this in. Nothing was burned on the sides or at the bottom, but I must say it was close. So maybe I I picked this up at the right moment to avoid those nasty things. One of the toughest things to get rid of is burnt sugar. Well, since this little drop dropped here, wow, I suddenly had a realization why drops are called drops, because they are dropping. I never thought about this in my entire life. This is the first time. Okay, let's try it up. Beautiful. It's still warm, very fruity, very foresty, if that word means anything to you. Very wild and very sweet. And not too sweet though. I'm glad that I decided not to put all this sugar. I think that would be way too much for 15 berries. That would be really an overkill. If I was making a real jam though, that I wanted to be conserved for at least 12 months or maybe a bit less, sugar is what preserves it. So maybe the same ratio or a bit more of the sugar. I don't know what it would be like, but this time I'm not doing this. I'm going to let this cool off and consume it immediately or tomorrow morning. We'll see. So a night has passed and the world changed. They discovered aliens in Mexico. I got bitten by a cat overnight and probably will need to go to emergency room because of the tetanus shots and stuff. But you know, you gotta make do with what you have. So the thing is, the most important news is the jam is settled now, and I'm going to try it. So first things first, I'm going to try it on some rye bread. This is the only one that I have currently. I don't have really much time to go to the store and buy something else. I understand this bread has a kind of, let's say, sourish specific taste to it, and if I wanted to really focus only on the taste of the jam, I would need something a bit more bland than a rye bread, but it is what it is. I will try just to distinguish those two things. This little whisk is here just for no reason, Everything stayed the same over the night. As you can see, tiny drops of the jam while I was making it. And right now is the moment of truth. I will make myself coffee because this will be my breakfast in a way. And I'm curious to see if 15 blackberries will cover this much rye bread. We'll see. Coffee is ready. That is one of the most important things for the breakfast. And now the big moment of truth. I really didn't have a proper cap to put on top. I think I lost it somewhere, of course. I'm always losing things. I must say the consistency of it is much more solid than I previously thought it will be. I was fearing it will be too liquidy, but apparently it's far from it. It's really nothing. I wouldn't mind even if it was a bit liquidy. It would be just a bit less practical to put on the bread. And now this is what is practical. Let's try it. I just love sipping coffee with things. I can't help it. But I did it when I was already done, not to mix the tastes. I really like this. It's not that I want to advertise my skills, but as far as blackberry jams go, this is one of the best ones I ever tasted. Maybe it's a combination of me knowing I gathered this, I made it, it's from the forest. I don't know. I don't know what stands behind, but it is really, really good. I would even put a bit less sugar next time, but as I said, if I was going to make it to last longer, this amount of, or even a bit more amount of sugar would be okay. I put around the same amount of sugar that are blackberries, maybe tiny bit less than that. So it was not really one-on-one amount, but something close to it relatively. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is to try it with some butter on. I do hope I have some butter left. Yes, I do have some butter left. I'm sorry if there is any noise coming from outside. It's morning, so people are getting to school, to work, to whatever they are getting to, and I can't really control it. Not the best sound isolation in apartment buildings from the 70s, I must say. So you can't really expect much, can you? The one thing I wanted to mention is I think there is so much sugar, the consistency is very, is so solid that if you take one part of it, you take everything else with it. So I need to be careful about how I eat it. Otherwise, I could easily, when I bite into the first part, just take everything off, all the rest. Okay? The second moment of truth. I did it. This part remained here. Success. This is equivalent of success for today for me. Beautiful. This is great. This is truly great. I like butter and things with butter, and the jam that is so good in itself on it, it's perfect. I mean, even on this bread, the bread does not overtake anything. It is just there. And believe it or not, I still have a decent amount left. So for the last experiment, I will eat the rye bread alone and not report on the taste, of course. But I have another piece here, and let's see if I will be able to cover everything. Not entirely, but good enough. This will be one of the best breakfasts ever for me. Look at this color. It's almost entirely black. It's perfect. I don't know what to say. I'm so happy. I'm proud of it. And you know what? For once, I'm going to praise myself. I will give myself 10 out of 10 for this one. I really don't have anything bad to say about it. Maybe personally I would like it slightly a bit less sweet, but honestly I like it this way too. I don't have anything bad to say about the taste, about the smell, about the texture, about any of those things, and I'm so happy for this. This will be one of the rare opportunities, rare cases actually, where I say something is 10 out of 10, most likely. I'm going to enjoy my breakfast and continue being happy about all of this.